Yard return to make it 1st and 10 for St. Francis. The Golden Knights coming from the 20. That's going to be Cordova, comes down to the bottom of your screen. Little bunch set action. Empty set, quads. This jumped off sides. He walked up for the coverage and jumped right off sides.
Yeah, down here at the bottom of your screen.
Wow.
You see orange, area in orange. And he did. He just came up to press coverage and encroached. And the line judge, Ray Hillerman, was there to make the call. Back to throw is Parantes.
Oh, he's got him.
Going up the sideline. Nice catch.
Wow.
No, it's knocked free. Looked like he caught it, but he did not. Nice coverage.
Yeah, unable to get it, to pull that one down. And that's going to be Dulcich. He's 6'4", can't get himself downfield. And he's going to be working against the shorter defensive backs all night. But look for him to start releasing into the seam, and he's going to be a tough one to catch up to.
And that looked like he really did make a nice play. He came underneath the coverage and let Money Miles go by him just a little bit, but Miles able to get his hands in there, knock that ball away.
Cordova and Dulcich come to the bottom of your screen, back to the I position. Looks like it's going to be a run set, and it is. They take it to the outside. Nice job there by Citrus Hills. Can't bottle him up. He squirts through, and all of a sudden, the running game for both teams is coming alive. Good job by Washington.
Well, let's be real. St. Francis is a true program. The head coach has been there for 18 years. They've had great success. And, you see it here. This is a good football team, and Citrus Hill is going to have to play a whale of a ball game to come out victorious.
No stranger to the playoffs either. They have 2 semifinal appearances. They've made it to the quarters, and they've been in every single division from Division 5, 4, and 3. Tries to get to the outside. Can he get to the edge? No, cannot. Great play by the corner coming up and just stymieing it. And on the play is going to be Franco.
Yeah, nice job by the Citrus Hill defense of recognizing the bounce to the outside and really keeping that force, keeping that outside contained and coming up and making a nice open field tackle.
Spreading it out this time. We talked about him. Look at Maneras, number 2. He's the inverted slot. Here comes the pressure. They got Maneras in the middle. Maneras rolls out of it, tries to lean forward, does, picks up the first down. Loses his footing tonight, little damp, and all of a sudden, he picks up 12 yards.
Well, I'll tell you, that time they came after him, and Parantes did a great job of reading the blitz and replacing. That blitz came from the middle, so who did he hit? He hit the receiver coming across the middle, and that's a great way to do it. And I'll tell you, Zolmalt got really lucky. He slipped on the carpet, like you said, but was able to knock the feet out of the receiver to save the second touchdown.
Go to a trips look this time. Tight ends at the bottom. See if they release him downfield at the seam. They don't. He's using them as a blocking back. Decided to keep it in the read option, and I don't blame him. Great play on that by the defense. Nothing there at all.
Yeah, and as good as the read was on the pass the play before is how poor that read was on the option give. Yeah, Parantes is not going to beat you with his feet, but he will run the ball, so you do have to pay attention to the quarterback. And as you saw there, he will keep it. Gains a yard.
Maybe a pickup of 1 on the play, making a 2nd down and 9. Big man goes to the slot this time. It's going to be Howard. Maneras. That could be a little
movement. Yep.
Yep. They're going to stop that quickly.
I'll tell you, Citrus Hill is doing a nice job. You can see it on your screen. They're trying to give Parantes a different look. So they line up, and as he starts to bark out the signals, you saw all those guys moving around. And that time, the offensive line just tried to get going a little too fast.
And that's going to be one of the keys. If they can get him to start looking at where the coverage is and not running the play, it's going to be tough. Stand-up end this time. Looking. Gets to the outside. And what a catch. Good job there by the Z receiver. This is the big boy, 6'4", needs a block and just runs right into the end zone. What a play, 44 yards on the scamper.
Again, it all starts up front with the offensive line, and that time the offensive line of San Francisco was able to squeeze everything into the middle. Parantes took it off out of the pocket, bought himself a little bit of time, and then right in the middle of the field you saw big number 16, and he scampered after that. There wasn't but two defenders over on this side. He did pick up a couple of those blocks you said he needed, and he's in the end zone.
And one of the things that Citrus Hill has to watch for, and especially with St. Francis, they love to exploit the middle of the field.
Yep.
St. Francis utilizes all 53 yards. We see a lot of schools, they don't. It's third and a third.
Yep. The spot is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 1:19 to go in the first quarter. This has been pretty exciting football.
Coach, he just sent that down.
Here you see, look at this. See how everything gets collapsed inside, and that opens up a nice lane for Parantes. And there's one of the blocks that he needed, and that springs him into pay dirt.
Well, so they're doing it, Coach. We're seeing a football game tonight. Right now, 104 yards of offense, 86 of it in the air from St. Francis, and that running game is just enough to make them just stay focused.
Yeah. We can already see that the key to this game so far tonight has got to be, can we get pressure on Parantes? And can you do it with just those front three guys, maybe a fourth? And we saw we can do it with a blitz, but can you get consistent pressure? That's going to be key.
The defense of Citrus has led the charge for years. It's time for the offense tonight. They got to take over. Ball goes into the end zone. Nice job there by Durso. Ball comes out to the 20. That's going to be Mark Rechnowald's favorite kickoff.
Every single time, Coach. Every single time. Hey, you know why? I mean, kickoff return, I think, is one of, if not the most exciting play in football. And it's always either at the start of the game or after you've given up points. And if you can get a big kickoff return, man, it excites your sideline like nothing else. And there's nothing better to get excited at the beginning of a half or after the other team has scored.
Oh, I totally agree with you. A little bit of a double wing look. Here comes fly sweep again. Can they get the edge? They cannot this time. This time they run them down. Great job coming from the backside. It's going to be Howard on the chase. That's going to be a 2-yard gain, making it 2nd down and 8.
Well, you saw that time they lined up a man outside even wider than what they were before. And so now you're running that play into him. Tried to get him on the block, but he was able to beat the block and come off and stop that run.
They haven't taken that fly sweep to the right side yet. They continue to run it to the left. Ostel comes down to the bottom of your screen. Motion comes across. See if they're going to attack the outside. They don't. Straight up the middle it goes and just swallowed up by the defense. And what a play by number 77, the defensive tackle. And that's going to be Kajmar. Kevin Kajmar, great job.
Great job. He got Jefferson to turn sideways. And I'll tell you, if you can get a big back like Jefferson to run side to side instead of north and south, you're really doing something. And that's put Citrus Hill in a big hole here, 3rd and 8. They cannot give them the ball right back on 3 and out. They've got to make this conversion.
Slayton to the bottom of your screen. Look at Slayton. He's there in the seam. Can they get it to him? Good job there by Fudgens. Fudgens comes all the way across, and what a pass by Miles. Maybe to no avail. Where's Laundry on the field? Find out what it is very quickly.
Illegal
receiver downfield.
Wow. Wow, that hurts. That hurts. Citrus Hill's not going to throw the ball a lot, but this is that was a big play, a big conversion. And to have a man downfield and have it called back, that's got to hurt.
Yeah, that one stung. And you don't see a lot from the tight end getting involved in the passing attack. That time he did, wide open.
Yeah.
And now you can see, and what that does, that just opened up the defensive playbook and philosophy of St. Francis.
Sure.
We're not even going to think or worry about your passing game. We're not even going to worry about who's your tight end. We're worried about who's your wing back and where you guys are going.
as the quarter comes to an end. It's a tough play to stop when the tight end comes from the other side of the field all the way across. It's a really tough thing to run with, especially when on play side, you know, you're kind of moving the same way he is. And so you never really get a chance to see it. It's tough to look back and find him.
And what I really liked about Fudgens as he came across there, he had to get on his horse to get to that position.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, the quarterback has to stop, throw it back across the green to get the ball to him. And 70% of the time, that's deflected or intercepted. But he did a great job hustling to get in line with his quarterback, and the quarterback was able to deliver him the ball. Hey, they found the wrinkle. They found the wrinkle. They being Citrus Hill. Little chink in the armor there.
All right, I think we're going to go on a game break. I think we got somebody out at Rancho Verde tonight.
All right, what do we got?
Well, all right, we'll be back here. We're about to start the second quarter. And this is going to be a tough, again, 3rd and now 13. And like I say, you cannot give them the ball right back. Cannot give it back to this offense and let them get on a roll.
Back to that little double wing. Here comes the motion. Fly sweep again. They're going to try to reverse it. They do to Dorso. Dorso gets around the edge. Needs one more man. What a play. Just
nice
getting him out. Look at Dorso almost there to take the whole way.
Oh.
And Howard comes up and makes the play.
They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 28. All right, let's go for our game break. Are we ready? All right, 4th and 3. Citrus Hill is going to be forced to punt. That's too bad. We're a long way. It didn't appear that he stepped out of bounds, but that guy's got a nice view of it. We're far away.
But that double reverse looked like it could have gone.
Yeah, it was close.
Just stretched it a little too far, but you got to give credit to the linebackers just extending that play to the sideline and utilizing that sideline as an extra defender.
Yeah, it's going to put some real pressure on the defense now.
Traditional punt style that time. Fair catch being called. Comes up.
That ball's loose.
Can't get it. Looks like St. Francis.
Look.
Picked it up. Takes it for 2 and it's bounced, and it does. And what a heads-up play by Zach Kajmar. Comes back. The big man comes back and gets right on top of the ball. Official takes it back over to the sideline and puts some air in it.
Boy, football is a funny game, right? And it bounces different ways. And, sometimes the bounces are for you and sometimes they aren't. And we've had one snap over the head of Citrus Hill, and now an opportunity for a turnover winds up in the hands of the defense. And St. Francis will keep the ball in great field position at the 48.
Check out Dulcich. He comes to the bottom of your screen. Already took one into the end zone. Instead, it goes to the tailback. That's going to be nice. Washington. Absolutely nothing there. And just getting swallowed up on the play. Coming over is going to be McCauley.
Yeah, that's a great play by Michaeli. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. He stepped out, slid to the outside where the play was going, and made a nice open field tackle, one-on-one. Same type of tackle that he missed earlier in the game. But he didn't miss that time. Loss of 1. Big series of downs for the Citrus Hill Hawks. The offense is still trying to get on track. And St. Francis has scored on both of their opportunities.
First time we've seen this set. Looking, has him to the outside, tries to get downfield. Looks like these has him. What a throw, what a reception. Great job over there. It's going to be Cordova.
Wow, these guys look a lot better live than they did on film. Not that they didn't look good on film, but this Parentes, what a first half he is having. That ball was on the money. And that's rolling to his left for a right-handed quarterback. That's not the easiest thing to do.
What I like is the way the receivers get into the routes. They get into positions, they don't overrun it, and they stay focused. Dulcich back again to the bottom. Andrew's going to be up at the slot. Looking. Ball goes to the middle. It's going to be Washington. Nothing there at all. Great play. Coming over to make the play for Citrus is going to be Wilson.
Yeah, first time we've called big number 99's name. Usually he's a big impact guy, and we're in the second quarter before we call his name. So that tells you what a good job St. Francis is doing.
Also, you got to take a look what a good job that they're doing in the middle of that defense.
Yeah.
St. Francis unable to get the ball up the middle of that defense, forcing them to take it to the outside. Maneras at the slot, nobody on him. He wants to get it. Here comes the screen.
Boy.
What a great job, great call. Runs into his own man, couldn't do much with it. Gets dropped right there on his dome. Going to pick up 14 on the play. And you can't say enough about it, Coach. They got to go in every way they want. That's Howard on 14 yards.
Yeah, you know, I started to get exciting. You know, we were getting some pressure on the quarterback. And little did we know at the time it was a screen. It was by design, and the screen pass to Howard. And boy, he'd like to have that run back.
Yeah.
He ran up right up the backside of his blocker downfield. He could have had more than what he got.
So Cordova's going to go to the top of your screen. Dulcich comes to the bottom. Maneras at the slot. Go throw him in motion. Oh, I see how they're running this. They like try to get him in the flat. They got a little bit of a flood running. Up over the top. Big man goes up. Can't even pull that one down. And that's a great position to throw that ball for 6'4". But 12 feet in the air is just no bueno.
Well, he didn't have much, and he rolled it out. The coverage was good, and it was a smart play. You're right. He threw a jump ball. Now, he threw it to the back of the end zone like you're supposed to, and if your guy gets it, great. If he doesn't, it's incomplete, and you go back to the huddle and try it again.
And one of the things I liked about Dulcich, how he got out there, he gets out there, then gets the defensive back. He must play basketball. Put him right on his back as a power forward would, and faces puts his back to the ball. Blitz being shown by Citrus. And here it comes quickly on the outside. They got him on the counter. Nothing there. Now, wow, great job by Citrus, and that's what we see out of Citrus is the speed of this defense. And Zolmalt, not to be denied, tackles him for the 4-yard loss.
Yeah, did a great job. We've seen that St. Francis wants to run wide, wants to do those little sprint rolls. That time they came back with the draw away from the sprint, and the backside of that Citrus Hill defense stayed home. And you're right, Zolmalt made a great play, number 7.
That's going to make a 3rd down and 15. They're going to come over here, almost bunch it to the bottom. And notice that they did this, Coach, as a swinging gate move. Who they bring to the outside is going to be Barkley, the offensive linebacker.
Yeah.
So what they were looking to do there was probably more of a slip screen to 16, especially when you have that blocker out there to take control of that.
Well, coach on the other side saw something he didn't like and called timeout. But you're right. That's what you do sometimes is you line up guys in different places trying to get the defense to react to them because you're going to do something else. This is a big down, Coach. This is early in the game. They've got the leg to try a field goal from here. But if you're Citrus Hill and you can hold them to a field goal, you're okay with that. All right, we're gonna try this once again. I think we've got a remote from out in Canyon Country, I think, where Rancho Verde is playing.
Coach Brockman here at Canyon Country. We got Rancho Verde just took a 13-0 lead. Hey, here we go, fellas. Here live from Canyon Country. Rancho Verde just took a 13-0 lead, and unlucky crossbar for Rancho Verde as the extra point goes wide, just off the crossbar. It sounds like something that happened with you guys over there.
And right now,
13-0, and it's all Rancho.
Over the top it goes. Oh. Tried to throw it at him, Coach. He tried to drop it on top of him.
Boy.
You got to make the guy run for the ball.
I bet Franco wishes he had that one back because he was playing the ball, and if he just gets to the spot,
yeah,
you know, he's going to make that play. But there again, what did we see? We saw pressure, and that pressure forced Perantes into a throw that he was just throwing it up, Coach.
He's just throwing it up there.
He's lucky it came back. This will be a 37-yard attempt. The spot is down. The kick is up. It's high enough. It's long enough. It's good. So if you're St. Francis, you're happy. 37-yard field goal puts 3 more points onto the board. If you're Citrus Hill, you're not exactly disappointed because deep in their territory they drove, but you're able to hold them finally.
Not only deep into their territory that they drove, they went deep into their territory, knocking on the door. It was denied. And then from there, they told them to get off my porch, and they started sending them the wrong direction. Yeah. So it was a very good defensive answer. Yeah, we already know about that kicker. He's legit. Put it in for 37. We said he's good from 45, and you know what? You're probably right. 45 is probably the limit on that thing, Coach, because I don't know if he had another 10.
Well, you're giving him 5 more yards than I did. You know, but like I said, watching him in warm-ups, seeing it on film, that guy's money from inside 40. He's probably got a leg to go 45, but he's money in there. All right, so they don't want to kick it to Dorso.
They don't, and you look at Citrus Hill, they're getting ready for the pooch. They're willing to let the ball go deep into the end zone.
Yeah, they moved guys up, that's for sure.
Ball's going to go high. It's going to go towards out of bounds, and it does. Boy, that's what I call confidence. Bam Bam turning his back on the ball. Maybe I can't see it from here, Coach, but I could have sworn that ball hit green. And that ball hits, and he just turns around and must. Well, I'll let you finish the conversation.
Well, no, I mean, you got to say, hey, the man was right.
Yeah.
The young man was right. He said, hey, that ball's going out of bounds, went out of bounds. But, boy, as a coach, you know, you don't like to see on a kickoff, you don't never want to see that ball hit the ground. That ball bounces funny ways, and you're right. He didn't. It's not like he watched it, but he was right.
Yeah,
he made the right read.
Yeah, it was a good read. Maybe it did hit the weight. I don't know. I don't know. So here we go. It's going to be 1st and 10. Ball's going to the 35-yard line. Here comes Citrus Hill. Jefferson's going to be your setback. They're back into the double wing. Little running the option. Get it to the outside. Nice job stringing it out by St. Francis. Almost slips through there. Coming up for the play, it's going to be the corner. That's going to be Armstead.
And nice job by Slayton of blocking out there, number 11. Boy, I tell you, that play takes a long time to develop. And when you're out there in front of God and everybody, blocking downfield, you know, we see so many holding calls from those wide receivers. And Armstead did a nice job of coming off, and Slayton did a nice job. Yeah, Slayton did a nice job of blocking and knowing when not to grab on.
Power look, see if they come to this side. They go to the outside. Nice job. It's going to be close to the first down. How did he get through there? I'll tell you, Hal, shoulders over toes.
Yeah, well, he comes downhill. He's really running on an angle to the corner of the end zone. And boy, right as he was about to get contact, he really brought those shoulders parallel with the goal line. Did a nice job of getting low, driving hard, and picking up the first down.
As Clovans checks into the game. They're going to bring him down to the bottom of your screen. Along with them is going to be Estelle. Last time Estelle runs down in that position, they ran the fly sweep. Not doing it that time. They found Jefferson. Right up the middle they go. So all of a sudden, the middle of the offensive line for Citrus Hill, they're starting to get it going.
They're getting some movement up there, and I tell you, Andrew Brooks, number 20, I'm sorry, not Andrew Brooks, looking at the wrong marks. Elijah Washington, number 25, made a game-saving, or not a game-saving tackle, but a touchdown-saving tackle by getting a hold of Jefferson and pulling him down.
Barrega's got to get himself busy at that tackle defensive end position. Looking, drops back. It's going to be Miles. Miles sees nothing, decides to run it on his own. Gets himself forward, gets the ball over to 30, down to the 28. Nice job there by Miles. Real simple read for Citrus because it's a real simple offense. He's not open, you go.
And we talked about that last week, and we talk about it again. That's one of the things that D-Money Miles does well, is he really does a good job of not throwing into traffic. It's not there, pull it down, off we go.
Tight trips look this time. It's going to be Jefferson. What a block. Still on his feet. That's a late whistle. Woo.
Yeah, number 10 came over and cut the legs out, but Jefferson didn't think he was down. That was Gazmarian for the Golden Knights.
And I really...
Jefferson's still mad. He doesn't think he was down. I don't know if we have it again, but...
That's a great job blocking by Rising. So Jefferson's going to pick up 5 on it. Jefferson back on the counter again. Found something that worked, went back to it. Tries to get to the outside. Can he do it? Can he pick up the first down? Can't do it. Chasing him down is the entire team. Flag comes up.
Yeah, we got a late flag.
And coach, it's late. You know what that means. Personal foul. Someone did something.
There is an injured player on the field.
Yeah, Jefferson was just trying to bounce that thing to the outside, and boy, he just got his heels clipped just a little bit, and that kept him from getting out there. And then we got a personal foul, but it's during the play. I didn't see a dead ball signal.
That flag came out so late.
So that'll be a 15-yarder, but down over. Injured player down on the field for St. Francis. Didn't see who it was.
So Citrus Hill, you're looking at 140 yards rushing thus far, 0 yards in the air. Last week when we start with respect to Jefferson, 327 yards on the ground, 63 of them in the air for himself. So I'm seeing Citrus. They look a lot more balanced in what they're doing and the way they're working right now, as they're trying to get the ball inside and outside. And now what I see, when you say balance, yeah, most people think of what the pass
and run.
Running attack, but for us, there's no passing running attack. It's inside outside, and I like what they're doing. They're getting the action to go to the left, and then from there he's able to take it to the right.
Here's the last play. You see it's all cramped up in there. He just bounces to the outside, just gets the heels clipped just a little bit. Oh, it's number 2. Yeah, and that's number 2. That's Andrew Monterez.
Shoulder dislocated.
Yeah. Looks like he's holding his right shoulder. Hopefully the young man is okay. Well, back to action we go. The ball now resting at the 36.
Yeah, Andrew Monterez, huge part of that offense as he comes off that slot. To be another flag, illegal procedure, and all of a sudden they're 20 yards the other direction.
Boy, they are calling that really tight. They're calling that very tightly. I think what you saw is the right tackle kind of looked back to see what was going on, rolled back forward, they snapped the ball, and they called that
motion.
Illegal procedure. So this is too bad. Citrus Hill was really put together a nice drive here in answer. And you watch, he's just looking back, talking. Yeah, okay, got it. And that's what they're going to call. That's what they're calling illegal procedure.
Still
That's really tight.
Up there. Yeah. Estelle goes to the top of your screen. Jefferson's going to be the setback. Over the top to Estelle. Can't get it there. Nice try. 2 receivers in the same zone.
Yeah.
You had Fudgens going down there off the tight end spot into the seam, and Estelle right behind him. Looks like they really wanted somebody to run a 6 and someone to run an 8.
Yeah, and it's too bad because the outside receiver brought the defender with him.
Yep.
Kind of clouded things up. It's still not a well-thrown ball. But that tight end on that little pop pass was wide open.
They saw it earlier. We said, hey, they found the wrinkle. Look, I'm telling you, they're going to be going him a few more times.
3rd down, they need to get to the 18 for a first.
Same set. Robinson's up at the slot. Estelle's going to go over to the wide receiver. Want to get it over to Dorso. Can't do it. Can he get to the outside? Quick pitch toss. What was that? I'll tell you something. Ill-advised. Eat that ball. I don't even know if Jefferson was waiting for that. Is that a little bit of an RPO there, Coach? You wanted to throw it?
Well, you know, sometimes you just try to make a play. And it looks like Jefferson's a little slow getting up. Sometimes you just want to make a play. And that time, D-Money Miles, you got away with it.
That's a good way to say that. He got away with it.
He got away with it. But I think he missed Dorso in the secondary. So for the second time tonight, the Citrus Hill Hawks will be punting.
Nice kick. Nice high kick.
I'll mark that about the 5.
Gonna take that thing at the right inside the 5, Coach. They're gonna drop it off at the 4. And out comes the Saints of St. Francis.
Now, last possession, Citrus Hill was able to at least get the stop, force it to a field goal. Now, can they piggyback on that, get a 3 and out here, get the ball back with a little bit of time, perhaps to get a score before halftime.
It's going to be crucial, and I think one of the things that you're going to turn around looking. I foresee you're going to see Dulcich right back into the seam. The key to this game is getting that quarterback off his spot, but right now it looks like they're just going to try to run out of this, Coach.
Play action.
Pull it over the top.
Nice coverage. That time they were in a man coverage, where earlier they were driving that corner off. But this time Howard comes out of the tight spot, and Dorso is all over him. Good coverage. And second down. Love that. Love that.
And that was the first time that St. Francis really didn't send anybody on the backside coming across. They left him over there, let him stay out there, and usually they bring him towards the inside with a post pattern. Bunch set up top. Holtz keeps it himself, just nothing there. Upended.
Ball. Who's got it? Looks like, they got it back again, St. Francis. Yeah, they tried the little quarterback counter there. Brought the two big guys around, but Citrus Hill defense did a nice job. Loss of 2.
Yeah, I see that, Coach, and I see what they're trying to do, but just a little bit tight. It hasn't been worked for them in the middle of the field. It's definitely not going to work for them inside their own 5.
Great angle here, as you see the Citrus Hill defense led by Bam Bam Kinney right there. It just takes the legs out of Ferrantes.
Let's go make a 3rd down, 13.
Big down for the defense.
And they're coming.
Now we're going to get a timeout.
And that's a good timeout.
Yeah, that first down pass play. And I know what St. Francis is trying to do. You have the ball at the 5-yard line. Most teams are going to run there. So they're pinning their hopes that the defense is playing run, and you get a guy behind somebody, you make something happen. But it didn't happen. Citrus Hill played great defense, and the clock didn't run on the incomplete pass. And now they're in business. You know, if Citrus Hill can get a stop here, they get the ball back, put some points on the board. This makes it a whole different game going into the second half.
Going into the second half makes it a different game, but also it brings out a little bit more confidence. Hey, we stopped them down here. We sent them going the wrong direction. This is the second big defensive stand that they've had. One was in their own red zone. Ball's on the 10. They backed them up to the 16. Now all of a sudden they're in the same situation here.
Starting at the 5 and back
They started at the 4. Now they're back to the 3. So for the last 2 possessions, St. Francis is going the wrong direction.
But St. Francis has one more down to go. Citrus Hill needs to stop.
Trips look up top. They roll to that side. Fakes it. Has him over the top. Great job. Gets it. And he knew where the first down marker was. Did he get there? And they're going to give it to him.
Oh, absolutely. That is a great route.
What a great play.
That is a great route. He got right across that line where he needed to be, and he picks up the first down. Great play by St. Francis. That's what makes them such a good team.
And that's a good job by the coaching staff. Look at Blake Howard here. Knows he has to get the 14 yards and just sits in that window, and he looks at the ground where his feet are and makes sure he's behind the 10-yard line.
Great work. Again, I'm going to beat a dead horse. It all starts with protection. New set of downs for the Golden Knights.
Pulls it out again. Relaxing, has the pressure from Wilson. Just can't get the ball down there to the big man. Has the out, didn't see him, tried to get it into Dulcich.
Yeah, and you see the difference is the pressure.
Got to get him off point. You cannot leave him sit on his spot. He will pick you apart, which is what occurred in the first quarter.
Which is what we saw.
That's going to make it 2nd down and 10. Dulcich and Howard come down to the bottom of your screen. Up top is going to be Cordova. Try to go up the middle again. Again, just trying to do enough with that running game to make you think about it.
Yeah,
got to pick up a 4 on the play.
And that's Washington. He got 5. And that's really what they asked their run game to do. Yeah, if Washington can come away with 80, 90 yards.
That's a successful night for them.
That's a successful, you're exactly right. Boy, I get tongue-tied. Third and 5.
Cordova. Dulcich this time is going to be at the slot. Nobody's picked him up. He only needs 5 yards. Just tapped his head. See if they go to him. Anthony Zolmold's going to be on him. He's in the middle, sits, still has the ball, still sitting. He's going to throw it. Has it. Great job. Did he pull it down? No, he was unable to hold on to it. Ball goes to Cordova. Down goes the 4th, and out should come the punt team.
Yeah, that time, great coverage in the secondary. Parantes was looking down the middle of the field. That time they had it covered. And eventually, protection broke down, and he threw an incomplete pass.
So 1:15 remaining in the first half. They need a good kick.
How nice it would be for a good return.
Woo!
Almost blocked.
And that thing's going to run.
Yeah, it is.
And it is going to run and run down to the 31-yard line.
That's a 49-yard punt. No return.
And planned. You tell me that didn't look practiced.
Yeah. But, boy, we came close to blocking that.
Yes.
So, well, the good news is we forced a punt. The bad news is we got the ball with just 1:02 left. And that's why that first down that they got was such a big deal.
It was huge.
Yeah.
It took a minute 50 off the clock, or a minute 40 off the clock. A minute 50. It was 2:52. Looking. Can't find anyone. Stay on his feet. This time he just gets wrapped up trying to rip the ball out. It's going to be the big Mike backer, and that's going to be Will Stewart.
Clock running, and Citrus Hill is, now they're going to use a timeout. Looked like they were set to just let it run out. And D-Money might have been shaken up just a little bit. But the timeout will give them a chance to shake it off.
So they come out with a speed option, looking to throw the ball downfield, Coach. What do you think? They got it?
Yeah, you know, take a look.
Yeah, I think they had that. I like it.
Miles is not going to, he's shown that he's not going to throw a bad ball. And that you saw there, he just takes it down and runs with it. But I think you got to go back to Jefferson. I think you got to give him a try down the middle, see if he can break a long run. You know, you're not going to go, I shouldn't say that. Your chances are pretty good you're not going to throw a 60-yard touchdown pass.
The only person they have out there who could break it down that far is going to be Estelle, number 13. He's going to go to the top of your screen. And then all of a sudden, Bam Bam's back into the game at tailback. Rolling again. That's Jefferson looking. Jefferson's going to hunk it. There it comes. Can't pull it down. Wanted the PI call, and all of a sudden they put Jefferson out there at quarterback, trying to make everybody think Wildcat. He just takes it laterally and throws it downfield, right up the middle. Ball intended to Dorso. Woo, close, Coach.
Good coverage on the defense by the Golden Knights. They were trying to prove me wrong with that 60-yard touchdown pass. That was a nice ball.
Nice ball.
It was a good ball.
It was on spot. D. Miles back at a quarterback. He's going to pick up the first down. It's going to be close. He got it. Picks up 5 on the play, 4 on the play. That's going to stop the clock momentarily as they reset the chains. Citrus got to get up there quickly.
Yeah, they're on the ball.
Clock roll 27. They jump. The legal procedure comes off. That's going to be the tight end. Gets out there a little bit early. And I'll tell you something, I like the way they ran that flood. They had Fudgens, he breaks hard into the flat, and then from there, you have Robinson goes right up the seam as everybody was watching Estelle.
I'll tell you, one of the big differences in this ball game right now are penalties. Citrus Hill is committing them, and St. Francis is not. And they're just going to let it run out. It's halftime. Well, for the Citrus Hill Hawks, they are not used to this, being behind at the half. And the good news is it's not a tragedy. They are capable of stopping the Golden Knights and coming back with a second half victory. You know what they say, you can't have a great comeback win if you don't fall behind.
But when I start looking at St. Francis, Citrus Hill is figuring it out. And Citrus Hill is now getting them on their heels. 2 great defensive holds. And then from there, St. Francis starting to have a little bit of difficulty. Passing game actually opening up the running game for Citrus Hill. Things are starting to change.
How big were those penalties on that previous drive from Citrus Hill? They've got the ball at the 10-yard line, 15-yard line, and it just backed up.
And that's one of the differences in this game. When you start looking at total penalties, you look at Citrus Hill with 40 yards thus far. And then from there, total offense from St. Francis, 162. And they're averaging 18 yards per reception. And that's the kind of difference in this game.
Hey, let's see what's going on with the Rancho Verde Mustangs.
Let's go. Rancho Verde hurt.
Hey, fellas, here's a lot of Rancho Verde. Tried a quick punt. Just got blocked if you're watching. You can see St. Hart just picked it up. Take it to the house for their first score of the game. Right now, 20-6 with an extra point pending. That's it for us here at
So a bad play for the Mustangs, but at least, hey, they're having some success out there in the valley tonight.
And I'll tell you something, that's a tough program to go against. You look at the Hart, big up front, strong, they can run the ball, and they're perennial out there. But what we got here in our own right is another Division III battle for the quarterfinals. 17-6 right now, St. Francis. It's going to be interesting second half.
Next up, your entertainment pleasure here at halftime at Citrus Hill. We have the Citrus Hill Dance Squad, coached by Miss Janice Lopez. marching band under the direction of the incomparable, indispensable Mr. Roach.
Ages of chaos, the earth began to cool. Began to form.
CIF playoffs. Centennial 35, Grand Valley 20 at halftime. And NBA scores: San Antonio 104, Oklahoma City 101. Chicago 123, Charlotte 120. Toronto 107, New York 84.
All right, here we go. Second half action coming at you. So two really good stands by Citrus Hill at the end of the second quarter. One, they sent them backwards from the red zone. Two, they don't let them get downfield. They get the ball back on the punt. Now they're kicking off again. Can we get 3 consecutive stands? And that may start setting the tempo for this offense. Straight up the middle it goes. Nice job. Still on his feet. Gets to the outside. Can't do it. Lowers his head. What a return. Great job by Brown. Excuse me, make that Armstead.
Yeah, that's the sophomore. This is what I was telling you about early. They are very good at their kickoff returns. They average about 30 yards a return, and they got every bit of that there. As they're going to start at the 41. Key for Citrus Hill, you're right. Defensively, they got to get some stops, and offensively, they have got to stop committing penalties. They've lost 2 drives to penalties. If they can do those 2 things, they can come back. But as we saw last week, the first thing you have to do to come from behind is stop the other team.
Look at it again. Washington with the ball. Washington tries to get the outside. What a great defensive play by Zomalt.
He did everything but make the tackle.
He was perfect on there. Kept his outside leverage, stopped the block, forced the bounce, and then got able to wrap him up.
And he made contact with the block. He didn't try to go around the block and let the runner come up inside. He made contact, forced the runner to make a decision, and then made a nice play. And
it's going to be a loss of 3 on the play.
Armistead, number 21 for St. Francis, down on the field.
And I think Armstead was trying to make the lead block. He just got twisted up in that. It was kind of awkward the way that whole play ended. It ended on a rotation, on a spin.
And you're going to see this. Watch at the top of your screen. There's Dorso taking on the block, beating the block. Unfortunately, didn't quite finish the block. And you see 21 got a little bit laid out.
Yeah, it was kind of awkward the way that went. Like his leg got stuck under him coming up, because it wasn't much. It was a push by Bird, but outside of that, it wasn't really too much after that. Just awkward.
CIF Playoffs 2017. Tonight, one team's season is going to end. As you see, Armistead is up. And you're right, he does seem to be favoring that right leg.
I think it just got caught underneath him somehow. So that's going to be Cordova going to the top of your screen. That's going to be Dulcich coming underneath. They like Dulcich in the seam. He's been successful there. Big boy. They got the bunch set empty. No backs out there. Looking. Have Dulcich. Comes over the middle. Has him in the seam. He's open. Can he get the ball to him? They do. The big boy has it over the top. Nice job. We said he likes coming from the seam, from that X position, and he did a great job masterfully getting downfield. Saving the touchdown is going to be Miles.
And again, a little bit of pressure from the outside, but Parentes is able to step up into it, and boy, did he deliver a nice throw downfield.
It's gonna be a 43-yard pickup on it.
Yep. And again, St. Francis knocking at the door.
His second reception of the night. It's Washington to the outside. Nice job on the block. Nothing called on there. Washington lowers his head. Coming back on that, it's going to be Dulcich.
Boy, that looked like an illegal block, but they got away with it.
Yeah, he got away with it on the crack, so I don't know how that actually worked there, Coach. Take a look at it right here.
Watch here on the outside. Not that one. It's this one right there, 16. That is definitely a block in the back. Not sure how they escaped. But they did, and the ball's at the 13.
It's going to be a pickup of 4 on the play. And here we go. Step back is still Washington. Nice job. Tries to get it to him. Over the top it goes. Big boy. Can he pull it down? Does. Laying out. We talked about hands. We talked about how they like getting him in the seam and in that post. It is going to be a tough go there for Miles. Nice job there by 6'4" Dulcich.
Yeah, not much Miles can do about it. The receiver gets inside of him off the snap of the ball. There's no help in the inside, and that's just too easy.
And just like that, Dulcich takes it up to 88 yards. 44 yards of receptions on this drive alone. That takes the score to 23-6.
Now you're in a real hole.
Now you're in a hole.
Now you're in a real hole.
And Bachetta
is not the way you wanted to start.
About to put one on.
The spot is down, the kick is up, and the kick
they got a finger on it.
No good. No good.
So all of a sudden, chasing an extra point from the beginning of the game no longer counts.
Yep, that one balances it out, doesn't it?
He sure does. Get a chance to take a look at this. Watch your wide receiver at the bottom. It's going to be Dulcich.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to see. You can't see him get inside of Miles. But there's nothing that number 5 can do once he is inside.
Nice job. Did a hard shoulder feint to the outside and just planted and got right inside of him. And that's a big kid. You're looking at Dulcich. We talked about his stature before as a wide receiver. You don't see much of that. 6'4", 220 pounds. Big boy.
Having his best game of the season. Yeah, he is their leading receiver coming in, but tonight it's 16 everywhere. You know, we talked about this is the reverse of what happened last week against Newbury Park, where Newbury Park was in this situation and having to try and come back. And it's hard to come back when the other team keeps putting points on the board.
And they're methodical in their approach. You have to get back there. You talked about it. They're going to have to get that quarterback off his point.
And now the Hawks need to answer.
Okay, that's going to be Dorso. Gets it at his own 3. Steps over 1. Nice job by Dorso. Gets it up to the 29-yard line. That's going to be a 26-yard return on it. And out will come Citrus Hill, 1st and 10.
A little early yet to say that this is a critical drive, but really this is the biggest drive of the season to this point for the Hawks. They cannot give the ball back to St. Francis in a 17-point hole. They have got to close this gap.
And they've been doing a good job up front, especially when you start looking at some of these offensive linemen with respect to Rising. Rising's doing a nice job out there, and see if they can turn around and run right through it. They fake it over to Rising. Looking up top is going to be Miles. Pulls it down. He's going to get picked up, and they stop the possession right there. That is an early whistle. Coach comes out, puts him right on the 5-yard line because they blew the whistle. But now the head linesman's going to move him to the 6.
He was still going forward.
Going forward, he was up in the air. I think they blew the whistle. As soon as he got lifted, he lands on his feet, and he just keeps going. Early whistle.
Nice gain on the play, though. 6 yards for Miles.
Dorso comes to the bottom of the screen. Along with him is going to be Estelle. Ball right up the gut. It's going to be Jefferson. Gets to the outside. Jefferson still on his feet. Nice job there by Jefferson. Takes it down to the 30-yard line. That's going to pick up a 34 on the play. He said they had an answer, Coach, and all of a sudden they just did.
And that's the run that I was looking for in the first half. Sorry, that's the run I was looking for in the first half. That Jefferson is capable of breaking almost any time he gets the ball.
We talked about that offensive line had to get going, and they did. This time, just keeping it on its own is going to be Miles. Takes the lead. Jefferson sets up the block.
Yeah, nice 4-yard gain. You don't mind that at all, 1st and 10.
But one of the things you have to do, you're looking at Samuel out there. He's got to stop talking. These officials have been throwing very fast flags on that. Just do your job, get back to the huddle.
Oh, yeah. Penalties have killed 2 drives for the Hawks.
Same thing. Back to Jefferson. Tries to step to the outside. They stretch it out very well. Coming up on the play is going to be number 4, Moda.
Yeah, Jefferson has had a couple of nice runs, but St. Francis has been able to turn him sideways. And you saw that again as he's running toward the sideline rather than running toward the end zone. And he's not as effective.
And that's one of the things that we talked about. We talk about it week in, week out, that you have to establish your edge against Citrus Hill. And at times, when they have done that, they have stymied the attack.
Big 3rd down.
Quick, rolling out. Has him to the outside, wants to get it to Jefferson on the screen. Jefferson picks it up, steps out of 1, still on his feet, lowers his head, gets knocked out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. Great job. Didn't think the screen was going to get there. Kind of ill-developed, but they still got it to work.
Again, credit Money Miles. And Coach Zoe talked about this before. He does not make a lot of mistakes. Here, the screen is not exactly set up perfectly, but he doesn't quit on it, waits for it to develop, gets the ball into Jefferson's hands. Jefferson turns it into a 1st down.
And here we go, stat guy, over to Jefferson. Point of attack, leans forward, gets the ball down to the 2-yard line. This is what they do very well. Coming up on the tackle is going to be Moda. Miles gets the call from the sideline, and here we go. Fast-paced offense, fast-paced commentating. Here. That's going to make a 2nd down and goal, back to the same position. Double fullback, leading, same play, straight up the middle, touchdown. Coach, you said they had an answer, and they just did.
Yeah, biggest drive to this point of the season. They're going to have bigger ones now because of the success of this one. This one gets them back where they need to be, back within that striking distance, where the stop and another score makes this a real game.
Crucial point here.
They've missed one already. Spot is down. The kick is up. And the kick is good. 7:33 to go in the third quarter, and Citrus Hill is back in this ball game, trailing by 10. It's just power football at its finest. Down, 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 kick out, turn up, and there it is, right coming at you. There he is, good-looking kid.
And you got to take a look at Johnson out there, Aon Johnson. The way he comes through that hole, and then from there you got Robinson right with him. That's just a lot of power. That's why they call it power. But, but I mean, when you hit that point of attack with those guys and the ability for that, for the onside guard to seal down and for the onside tackle to kick out, I mean, you cannot, the linebacker just cannot make that play.
And that's where you've been talking about, where they've been turning Jefferson sideways, is they've been able to squeeze that down and bounce that play to the outside.
And that has to get squeezed. If it doesn't get squeezed, it's a bad day.
Oh, Citrus Hill run all over you.
So here we go. Ball get picked up quickly. Nice job at the 5. Armistead back in. Tries to cut out. Goal. Got a little too crazy there. Got caught on his heels. Thought he could skip out of it, but to no avail. On the play is going to be Oscar Franco. Nice job there by Franco.
Yeah, it's really hard on kickoff return to give up your momentum and then try and reestablish it. But still a nice return by Armistead. Will give the ball to the Golden Knights at the 25.
So here we go. St. Francis comes out first and 10 on the 25-yard line after that 20-yard return by Armistead. Good to see him back in the game as he twisted that shoulder a little bit earlier. Cordova's going to go to the top of your screen. But now this is going to be the slot. Underneath is going to be Dulcich. They went to him 3 consecutive times. This time they're going to give it to Washington. He just gets absolutely walloped. Makali's there to finish it up, but coming up quickly was Bird. Mekalele, he just came over there and finished, but what about the delivery by Bird? Both linebackers converged on that very nicely.
Now, we've talked about it before. The Citrus Hill defensive front does a good job of occupying that offensive line, allowing those linebackers to have a free run.
This time they're going to go double tight. Washington's going to be the setback. Rolling out of it, pressure's on him, gets the ball, good delivery. Still on his feet to Howard. Howard gets the ball to the 30-yard line. He's going to pick up 2 on the play. It's going to make a 3rd down and 5.
There again, the pressure. The pressure makes Parentes have to get rid of the ball underneath, and the defense is able to make a nice stand. They need a big play here. They need a big play here. This is a momentum type of down. The offense has scored. If the defense can stop and give it back to them, you're in business, and everybody's pumped up on the sideline.
Same set. Dulcich comes underneath, checking into the game very quickly.
Oh, no.
It's going to be
They've had to burn
Sandoval.
a timeout. Late entry to the game was Sandoval. And all of a sudden, you had 12 guys on the field. And Coach Zomalt was not happy having to burn a timeout there.
It's going to make a 3rd down and 4. Every time they got into this situation on the last 2 possessions, they looked at the big receiver, Dulcich, number 16. But one of the patterns that they ran on this every single time they needed a coach was the post slant pattern. Citrus Hill has to recognize that, come up and not allow for those receivers to get that inside release, especially on 3rd down with only 4 yards to go.
Of course, you know what I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
They got to get pressure on that quarterback.
Yep.
When they're getting pressure on Parentes, they're having success. When he stands there and is able to throw or able to step up into the pocket, that's when he's picked them apart.
So they're back into a split back look. Same receiver set. Quick snap. They got the wheel route open. Looking. Parentes over the top. Oh! What a reception.
Nice,
I'm going to tell you something. I think he was going to Howard, and what you had was Dulcich right behind him.
Yeah, that was
I think it's just fortuitous on that.
That was a very nice job. They got him moving. They got the quarterback moving. Boy, he just made a really nice throw and a better catch by number 16, Dulcich. You see here, they get the movement, and the quarterback is just able to find the guy. And that's a nice catch. You almost wish that Howard had been able to knock that away. Number 8 for St. Francis.
Quick, Washington trying to get to the outside.
Did.
Got it. I'll tell you something, Franco, I don't know how he got a hold of that jersey. If he's able to pull it back, slows him down. Still picking up 13 on the play is Washington. He wanted to take it off tackle, got bounced out. Nice job by the defensive tackle. And Franco has to come up and make a play.
Yeah, this is a real nice bounce, and Franco got caught on the inside shoulder instead of the outside shoulder, so he lost contain. But you're right, was able to hang on. And that ability to hang on saved a touchdown.
Bird did everything he could possibly do to force that bounce. Got to come up there and make the play. Easy looking. They got Dulcich to the side. They want Dulcich deep. Can they get it to him? They can't. And he's going to go down. First time. Calling his name back to back. And guess who turned on his engine and just dropped it into another gear, Coach? And that's going to be Bird. 2 great plays back to back.
Well, you're right. Bird's going to get credit with the sack. But look at Michaeli beating Parantes to the outside, forcing him back underneath where he gets all the help that he needs. And the big sack by the big number 8, Dante Bird.
So Cordova to the top of your screen. Menendez is going to go to the slot. Dulcich by himself underneath. Looking at Dulcich. He's going to roll out of it. Williams putting on pressure. Waiting for him to open up. Gets the ball. Nice job over to Cordova. Gets separated from the football. What a play by Franco. That's how you play football, buddy.
You've heard me say it before. I don't care if they catch the ball, but God bless America. There better be somebody there to hit him when he does, and you see exactly why I love that stuff. He makes a nice throw. Parantes makes a nice throw to an open receiver, or so you think. Bam! Here comes Franco. Ball separated from man, and it's 3rd and long.
Nice job. Howard thought he had that ball easily. Brought it into his hands a little bit too slowly. You can't do that in traffic. He's going to learn that at the next level. Matter of fact, he just learned it at this level. So they're going to go spread on this. Setback is still going to be Washington.
Huge down. Here come the Hawks.
Up over the top. Gets it out to Howard again. Howard spins out of 1. It's going to get stuck. Right? Oh, gets bent backwards. And Franco again comes up and just delivers the blow.
He saves the tackle. He makes two more big plays after that in the secondary. And here comes the punt team for St. Francis. And Citrus Hill got the stop that they needed.
They needed this stop. Now all of a sudden we're going to take a look. And this is a great play. Comes to the outside to Howard. Howard sits, tries to make Zolmalt miss. Zolmalt, great job taking the outside on that. Catches the stiff arm. And then from there does enough to let his teammates come up and clean it up. Here comes the kick. Ball nice and high this time. It's going to get balanced, and it's going to say they're going to take that ball right about the 6-yard line. They're going to drop it on the 7, and all of a sudden that's going to set up a 93-yard touchdown drive for the Citrus Hill Hawks.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I've said it already today. The first thing you have to do in order to come from behind is you have to stop the other team. Citrus Hill's gotten the stop. Now it's up to that offense to put points on the board.
And that's a great defensive play by the punter, getting it inside the 10 to allow that defense to come out. And you start looking at the defense of St. Francis, they got to get back into squeezing this thing down. Right there, right up the middle. Nice job there by the middle part of the line, and the backers come up to make the fill.
He is just so good and so hard when he gets going downhill. And you saw he kind of looked to the outside, put that outside foot in the ground and cut it back up and punished the linebacker for 4 or 5 yards.
So pick up a 5 on the play, makes it 2nd down and 10. Dorso comes to the bottom of your screen. Along with him is going to be Estelle. Right up the gut again, has a gap, steps over one, gets up the first down, takes the ball up over the 25 to the 26-yard line. Another pickup of 11 yards.
And you see what they've been working on all week. They say, hey, Jefferson's a big back. When he gets into that secondary, cut his legs. That time, no jump necessary. He just kind of pulled one leg, said goodbye.
Same set. Offensive line just steering it now. Jefferson still on his feet, leans forward. Another big lead. And all of a sudden, it's a gain of 17.
You see Jefferson, he's starting to feel it now. Again, same idea. He's on that angle to the outside, puts that outside foot in the ground, and he's trucking.
But take a look at this offensive line. They're now engaging and getting this defensive line into the linebacker's lap. Here he goes. That just gets swallowed up at that point. Nice job defensively. Coming over from this defensive end position to make that play is going to be number 5. Grevac.
Now stopping him one time. That's good for St. Francis. Can they stop him again?
Well, yeah, they stop him, but Grevac has to come down there and he has to maintain that. And you cannot rest on this. Swings it to the outside. That's going to be the that fly sweep. Nothing there at all. Are they going to the well too many times, Coach? They're 2 for 2.
Yeah, they ran that into the short side as well. But a nice play made by number 8, Blake Howard. You know, coming up, getting enough of the man to stop him. Now Citrus Hill is in 3rd and long.
Crucial down right now. Citrus Hill's been finding a lot of success on the left side of this offensive line.
Yeah, they're going to change the play here at the line of scrimmage.
Because Jamar has to get big right now. Now they're going to take it to the right side. There it goes to the right side. Lowers his head, gets himself forward. And he's going to take that ball right over the 50-yard line. And here's a little bit of a decision for you, Coach.
Nope, no decision at all. No decision at all. You're going for it here.
All right, and here we go. They agree with you. Picks up 7 on the play, makes a 4th down and 2.
If you get to the 48, you have the first down.
To the outside it goes. And how does he bounce off of that? That's sheer determination. Great job by the defensive line. The linebacker comes up and they just can't knock him down.
This is a great fullback type run because the linemen are engaged. And what happens is you hit that line and you just find the soft spot. And Jefferson does a great job of finding the soft spot and picking up the first down. What good patience on this next run here. He's going to pick up about 3. Yeah, and that's what we talk about, finding the soft spot. You hit into that line, and you don't just push on the line. As you're pushing on the line, you're just finding for where that resistance doesn't come.
And
wow, that was a fast quarter.
Fast quarter, no penalties. Citrus Hill gets that ball from their own 3-yard line, drives it methodically downfield. And all of a sudden, Citrus Hill, they're finding something that works. When we talk about this type of an offense, right now they got a whole quarter of football to make it up. But if they don't find the ability to punch this in, and the amount of time that they need to score touchdowns, it's gonna be tough for them.
Well, they're in a great position right now. The ball rests with their own 45.
Yes.
And yeah, this is a nice drive.
And you may find this a little silly. Things are working well. Let's get a little play action. Release Robinson again. Throw it up over the top of him and watch him run 45 yards into the end zone.
I would not call that.
Coach, you got to roll the dice, baby.
We're getting late in the game. Number 9 is rolling. Feed number 9. Feed Jefferson.
But can you feed number 9? Because right now, it's taking them 5 minutes to go 47 yards.
Nah.
And here we go. They're going to stack into this. There comes the power I to the outside. Can he bounce it? He gets swallowed right there.
It looks like they're having a little bit of difficulty with the exchange. And they did on the 4th down play as well. And they did here again.
Grabovac comes over from the defensive end, swallows it up. Big back gets on him. It's going to be a pickup of a couple on the play.
You don't mind that. You're 3rd and 4. Citrus Hill, you're happy.
Derceau swings up to the top. Estelle's going to be at the slot. Looking. Jefferson has it. Get low on him. He still goes forward. He's going to take that ball down to the 32-yard line.
Woo! You know, I get what you're saying about play action, but God bless America. This offensive line is getting a good push, and number 9 is one heck of a load.
And right now, the reason the play action would work so well is that they have everybody. They have 9, Coach. They're playing 9 inside that box within 3 yards.
I reckon
wide delay goes right over the top.
If you get a 2nd and 1, you may see something like that.
Looking up over the top. Miles pulls it down. Nice job there by Miles. Couldn't get his hand on the ball right away, and he's still on his feet.
He's still
Takes
going.
The ball right into the end zone. Miles on a 32-yard scamper.
Oh! Nice job, number 5.
Thought he was tackled, thought he was right down. And talking about the play, Coach, he wanted to release it. I like what they did with the pass play, as I talked about it earlier. All of a sudden, he sees it's not here, and he goes back to your thought process. I'm not giving up the rock.
Yeah, bring it down, take off and run, and he went all the way. The snap is good, the spot is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. We have a 3-point ball game with 10:47 to play.
And why is it a 3-point ball game? And here it comes right now, Miles right here.
Look at this run. And right here, we thought he's going down. One guy's got him low, one guy hits him high. They don't make the tackle. And number 5 has an angle to the sideline, and he's got the ball in the zone.
You got to wrap up against Citrus Hill. I don't care who's running that football. But why is it a 3-point game, Coach? Is because when they had the ball, 1st and goal on the 10-yard line, Citrus Hill made a march backwards and forced them into kicking a field goal instead of scoring a touchdown. That stand that you saw at the latter part of the 2nd quarter is why this game is only 3 points right now.
And now the pressure turns to the St. Francis Golden Knights. Now they need to answer. So a big series coming up here for both teams. Hey, this is fun.
Anybody's ball game right now. That's going to be Armstead. Armstead still on his feet. Boy, does he run hard. Takes that ball from the 5, gets it over the 25 to the 27-yard line, and that's where they're going to come out 1st and 10, 22 yards on the return. Total offense for St. Francis in the 3rd quarter was only 73 yards.
One drive.
So 10:40 remaining. Cordova comes to the bottom of your screen. Along with him is going to be Andrew. Ex-receiver still up top. They're going to fake it. Gives it over to Armstead. Armstead takes the ball up to about the 35-yard line. Going to pick up a 7.
And those are the 7 yards that they need to keep the Citrus Hill defense honest. And that's probably their best run of the 2nd half.
That's going to make it 2nd down and 3. So just running with a 4-man front now. Trying to get a little bit more pressure on the quarterback. To the outside it goes. That's going to be Washington. Washington gets battled out of bounds. Washington's going to pick up the 1st downs. He picks up 5 on the play. Derceau comes over in his defensive back position and just thumps him.
A great time if you're St. Francis to be able to establish run. It keeps the clock moving, and it keeps the defense from pulling back its ears and just coming after the quarterback.
And one of the things they know, if Citrus Hill gets the ball, they're scoring a touchdown. They must score here. Dropping, easy, gets it over the top. Does he hold on to the ball? Howard, does he hold on to the ball? They said he does. That's going to be a pickup of 11 on the play. That's going to be Howard's 6th reception of the night for 58 yards.
Well, we said it coming in, number 8 and number 16, Howard and Dulcich. Those are the two big targets for number 7, Parentes.
And here
he found him there.
And both of them come to the bottom of your screen. Dulcich is going to line up at the slot. Eye set. We haven't seen this since the first quarter. They're going to try to run power. Coming to the outside. Has the stiff arm. One does. Lowers his shoulder. Gets himself over to 40. Down to the 39-yard line, where he's going to be chased out of bounds. Coming over for the play is going to be Orange.
Yeah, you cannot give up 7 yards per rush. And this is a nice run by Washington. He finds a little lane to the outside, buys himself some time with the straight arm, and drug out of bounds. 2nd and 3.
New setback's going to be Armstead. Dulcich to the top. Looking, has Andrew in the seam. Wants him. They're going to try to throw the screen underneath. They don't. They try to hit the drag instead. What a job. Great play. Coming underneath was Andrew. Looked like he was going all the way across, got patient, got on his horse, coach, and he helped his quarterback right there.
Yeah, he did. One of the few times that Citrus Hill has gotten pressure on Parentes, the quarterback, and he's able to make a play. And he finds just a simple crossing route. Again, when the blitz comes from the middle, where do you throw the ball? Back over the middle where the blitz came from. Very impressed by number 7 for St. Francis.
Bunch set up top. Monaris is going to be on the inside. Howard's going to be at the point. They run flood out of this. Looks for the middle. Monaris on the outside. Has him. Goes to the big boy. He goes down on his knee to pull that. And that's going to be another 9-yard pickup.
That time, Michaeli kept scraping over from his linebacker spot. Took the wrong route. He went inside the back that was blocking him. That gave Parentes a wide open lane to find the 9-yard pickup.
Dulcich, 5 receptions for 115 yards thus far. Dulcich to the bottom of your screen along with Howard. The two guys they like to go to. Working on the wide side, Armstead's going to be the setback. Blitz coming from Citrus. And it's coming hard, right up the A-gap. Not disguised, right up the middle. Can they get through it? And they do! Armstead came right where the blitz was going.
Credit that offensive line. Boy, they picked it up nicely. Everybody picked up a man, opened up a little bit of crease, and that's enough for the first down inside the 15 down to the 12.
Ball goes on to the 12. That's going to be 8:30 remaining. Into the red zone they go. Last time they scored a touchdown, they ran that little seam to Dulcich, number 16. They're going to bring him down to the wide side of your screen. Juan Dorso is going to come with them. Smart move.
He's been with him for a while. And Citrus Hill's going to use their 2nd timeout.
Coach, do you bring somebody up over the top to watch on that inside, or do you keep him on inside, lock him down? Because you know he's going to try to run that seam again.
Talk about the matchup with Dorso and Dulcich. Yeah, go 1-on-1. That's your best defender against their best receiver, and then play 10-on-10.
Well, that's what looks like what they're going to do. I'd move him up a little bit, because if he gets on the inside, it's going to be tough.
You know, it's tough. Right now, they're able to run the ball. And that's what we were talking about. St. Francis doesn't have to live with the run game. If they can run the ball effectively, you got to keep a man in the box, and that opens the passing game outside. And that's what makes them so tough. You know, they do a good job of balance between run and pass. And on this particular series, they're running the rock.
Oh, they're running the rock. And they're taking it off to the right side of that offensive line. And we're going to look at Zhang over there and Manacho. They're just doing a fabulous job at setting the whole thing up. It's going to be Barkley, the offensive center. Nice job by the center on his reach. And that's what's keeping Wilson at bay. So they were able to utilize the strong guard attack. So look at this. Got a little bit of a wing. Still on their feet. Nice job, unable to get there that time. Coming up to make the play for Citrus is going to be Orange.
That would be Alante, number 4. Yeah, he did a nice job of filling. Came right in, saw the hole, filled the hole, made the tackle. No gain.
It's going to make it 2nd down and 10. Field goal does them no good.
Oh, if you're Citrus Hill, you'd love to see a field goal.
Yeah.
But you got a couple downs to stop them before that happens.
Looking, sprint option, nothing there at all. Wow.
Well, you know, Parentes hasn't made a lot of bad decisions, but keeping the ball there was a bad decision.
Is that the bad decision or the? I'm second guessing the coach. I don't want to do that.
No.
I'm not running the option on that.
Now, the positive for Citrus Hill is they got to the quarterback quickly. But if that quarterback makes that pitch there, there's nobody outside. He's going to walk into the end zone. Poor decision by Parentes.
That's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. They're going to run spread this time. This is their strong suit, and Citrus is coming again. 5 on 6. They just made them jump. It's going to be pick up a 5. That changes a lot.
Penalties. Now, we've seen them hurt the offense. This time, pain to the defense.
Citrus Hill, 45 yards and penalties tonight compared to only 5 for St. Francis. So that's going to make a 3rd down and 6. Checking into the game for St. Francis is going to be Grabavek. They'll probably put him at the tight end. Let's see if they're going to try to run it. This is a run set for them. Timeout again for St. Francis.
And that's timeout Citrus Hill. And that's their final one.
Odd, because I was watching the head linesman. He pointed to St. Francis. Play action out of that? They're going to go offset a power eye like that?
Well, that's what the 5-yard penalty does for you.
Yeah.
It sets up play action.
It sure does.
You have to play it a little more straight up. You're 3rd and 13. You can put your ears back and calm. 3rd and 7 in 2-down territory? Maybe not.
Option's not the play.
Well, I don't think you'll see option again. I don't think you'll see option again, but boy, it was there.
Great football game tonight.
Great football game tonight. Glad you're here with us. Glad you're riding along. We still got 6.5 minutes to go. And if Citrus Hill can get a stop here, hold them to a field goal attempt, boy, it's going to be an exciting 6.5 minutes.
And then how large is that point?
What point?
The block. The block point by Citrus Hill.
Oh, yeah, both ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, both teams have missed an extra point.
And it's what we talked about earlier. I mean, that point's not blocked. All of a sudden, hey, you know what? We got 4. We can actually rest on this field goal. But now, all of a sudden, they're knowing that they can't stop Citrus Hill. A touchdown is looming. Quick look.
There's your play action.
Over the top. Has to get rid of the football. Just can't do it. Not there at all.
Now it's decision time for the St. Francis Golden Knight staff. 4th down and 7 from your own 8-yard line. And here comes the field goal team.
You got to bring the field goal right now because you don't want them to tie it up with a field goal. You want to give yourself a chance to win this thing. Yeah. But at the same time, though, Coach.
Sometimes us coaches get our ego in the way. We can get this, Coach. We can get it. This is the right move.
It's a perfect move.
25-yard field goal attempt from the right hash. The snap is high. This fake. This is a fake. And it's touchdown.
Touchdown.
He's all by himself. What a call.
That is one thing that I was not expecting.
What a call.
You want to talk about sitting back against the wall, pure guts?
This is high school football, playoff football at its finest. Wow, what do you have to lose, Coach?
And that was the first time they did not set up in the swinging gate.
No, well, not for swinging gate is here now for PAT.
I was thinking about the fake field goal. I got a little confused there, got ahead of myself.
Not only is it a great call, it was well executed. And you're right, you're exactly right. It caught the Citrus Hill defense napping. Wow. Snap is high, the spot is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Just like that.
Look
at this.
Armstead comes off from the tight end position, and the ball's thrown perfectly to him, comes up and pulls that thing right back down. Wow.
Caught the defense napping. Well, we're back to a 10-point game, and now what do you need? What do I like? Big kickoff return. Big kickoff return will make everybody feel better. Quick score.
Coach, let me tell you what's going to happen here. They're going to squib that thing or kick it out of bounds. And if I'm them, I'll probably give Citrus a 65-yard field to work on.
Well, can't say I wouldn't join you on that.
But if you're kicking out of bounds, make sure it goes past the 30. Big, big special team right here. Big special teams play. Score 30-20, 6:21 remaining in the fourth. And he just drove it into the end zone. So they do have the leg to do that, and that's your favorite kickoff, and they've done that twice tonight.
I would do it every time.
I'll tell you something, Coach. They have 2 into the end zone, 2 bloops, 1 squib. Good job.
6 minutes, 21 seconds. The clock is not the friend of the Citrus Hill Hawks. They do need a quick score. They do not have what we would call a quick score offense.
However, in this running game, they have had the ability, they have found the ability to score within 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And here we go. Miles to the outside, can't find anything, gets swallowed up. Nice job of the defense, ball's on the ground.
They're going to call it down.
Referee says no, down, pointing to the ground. St. Francis wants it. Official says no. D. Miles is going to be slow to get up. That's going to move Jefferson back to the Wildcat.
Yeah, they're just trying to cross him up here a little bit. You're going to see a little fake to Jefferson. You know, the little inside-outside, but not much doing outside. And sometimes you've just, and you see, oh, that hurts. He got bent back a little bit with his legs. Sometimes you just have to put your shoulders to the goal line and get as many yards as you can and go down.
And every now and then we talked about the importance that, with St. Francis, that they need to squeeze the point of attack. When they've done it, they've been extremely successful, forcing forcing Jefferson to go parallel to the line of scrimmage and not getting his shoulders downfield. When they weren't able to do it, they just ate up yardage like a Brahma bull eating grass. I mean, it was just amazing what they can do. Nice job there by Miles getting up. He's going to be ginger, though. He's picking up a little bit of speed. He may be back. So that's going to move Jefferson over to the quarterback, bring Bam Bam back there to be the tailback. The entire offense is still wide open because Jefferson ran the offense for the first 8 weeks of the season, 7 weeks of the season. Four men up, and here they come. Looking downfield is going to be Jefferson. Nothing there. Pulls it down. Tries his fake, go over the top. Lowers his head, keeps himself going. Coming up to make the initial contact was going to be Howard. Jefferson goes right on by him. Picks up 9 yards on it.
Yeah, I like how they go right straight to the pass. Citrus Hill is in a little bit of a hurry-up offense. They're right back to the line of scrimmage. I like how they went to the pass.
They need to. Jefferson looks, takes a step, has to get the ball downfield. This time he decides to keep it. Quarterback draw the entire way. Jefferson takes the ball over to 40, up to the 41-yard line.
I don't know if it was quarterback draw all the way, but Jefferson certainly didn't look like a man who wanted to throw the ball. He looked like a man who wanted to wait for everybody to spread out, find a lane, and go. And that's what he did.
Robinson's going to be the wing back up top, looking that way. They go straight up the middle. Jefferson still on his feet. Jefferson takes that ball down to takes it up to the 49-yard line. Another gain of 9.
5 minutes. Clock is running.
Jefferson 187 yards on the night. His 26th carry. Looking again. Wants to throw it this time. This time he's looking downfield. How to get rid of the ball a little sooner than that. Going to get sacked. He's going to lose 3 on the play. Make it 2.
Well, like I said, you know, you get in the 2nd and 1 territory, you're probably going to see a little bit of pass. And Jefferson's looking to throw the ball. And perhaps just waited a little bit too long. And the St. Francis defense got to him. Here he goes straight ahead is Jefferson. He's got the first down, cut across the 45, and they'll make it just right at the 45.
That's going to pick up a 6 for Jefferson.
Good news is it's a first down. Bad news, clock's at 4:16 and running.
And this is what we talked about a lot with respect to this. There goes Jefferson again, tries to get to the outside, squeezing it down this time. Nice job there by the defensive end. Also coming up is going to be the tackle. And that's going to be Barriga coming over from this defensive tackle position.
Citrus Hill has no timeouts. They cannot stop the clock. There's your stop of the clock. But it's going to cost you a down.
And you got a flag.
They're going to call a penalty.
Oh, how's this work, Coach? Does the penalty go before the stoppage?
It's a false start.
False start. It's going to move them back 5.
Penalties, penalties, penalties. And what they don't realize is the clock is not going to be stopped now. I don't see the penalty. Yeah, but they saw something we didn't. And the clock is running while Citrus Hill is huddled up.
Dorso goes to the top of your screen. Jefferson with it. Rolls, steps, still looking downfield. Wants to get it to Dorso. Nice throw, goes behind him. Dorso had his man beat. Armstead got caught underneath. Just could not get the ball over the top.
Yeah, Dorso's running to his right. The ball is thrown to his left. And into the ball game for Citrus Hill is number 5, D. Money Miles.
And I'll tell you something, they need that. Puts Jefferson back there at the tailback. Allows him to survey the field, and Miles can get the ball downfield. Dorso swings up to the top of your screen. Underneath is going to be Estelle. Miles drops back. Miles wants the screen. Miles throws it deep. Has it over the top. Ball intended to Robinson. Unable to pull it down.
Yeah, it looked like it got in his hands, too. Well, here's the ball game now, then. 4th down, 12 yards to go. Let's see. You know, the ball's just hanging up there forever.
Yep, that's going to be Fudgens trying to pull it in. Hits him right between the hands.
Yeah.
Tough concentration. Someone jumps up right in front of him. Makes the play rough.
It's not always easy when that ball comes at you and you're just standing there waiting for it. Because I'll tell you, it feels like it never gets there. 4th down, 12. They have to get across the 45, or the 35.
Oh, no. Through his legs it goes. They're trying to set up fly sweep. Miles has the ball. Looking downfield. Needs somebody. Tries to call his buddy. Almost comes up. Did they pick it off? They said no. The ball hits the ground. Intended for John. Ball goes incomplete. Turnover on downs with 3:12 remaining. Score 30-20 St. Francis.
And no ability to stop the clock. Well, good news if you're a Golden Knights fan. Bad news if you are a Hawk. Now look for the Citrus Hill defense to try to strip the ball any chance it gets.
All out blitz, making sure they're coming from the outside. They definitely do not want to allow any points on the board. Dulcich goes up to the top of your screen. Cordova's going to be over at the slot. They're going to go with a double tight look on this just to pull people around. Take it, Washington, straight up the middle. Not much there, taking their time. He's going to pick up a couple on the play, making it 2. He's going to make it 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you see much anything else. Maybe you know, something safe, play action, but I think you're just going to see run, run, run.
Yeah, run, run, run. You don't want the clock to stop and punt the ball. You're up 10, and there's no 10-point plays in football.
It's two possessions.
Yeah.
And Parentes is just going to look at the back judge, who will stick his hand up when there's 5 seconds remaining.
They give it to the fullback. Fullback gets himself forward. He's going to pick up 1 on the play.
And that'll bring up 3rd down and 6. 3rd down and 7.
Very patient. Going to take the ball, take the clock all the way down to probably maybe 120, Coach, even before they have to punt the ball.
In high school football, there is no play clock. You can't see it, but the back judge keeps that play clock. And again, you see Parentes will just wait for him to put his arm up. That signals 5 seconds to go. And here's that safe pass I was telling you about. That looks like a jump ball.
Jump ball to 6'4".
And he pulled it down. And that first down is going to mean kneel down time. Yeah.
Yep. Can't do anything about it. 4 knees. This game is over.
Well, for Citrus Hill, it's been a great season. League champs once again, and it's going to come to an end tonight. I know, they had hopes for better, but this is a very good St. Francis team who has earned it.
And you're right, Coach. Whoever won this football game tonight would have earned it.
Yes.
Nobody lost this game tonight. The other team came back and beat the other squad. And you got to give it up to everybody involved. Great football, great sportsmanship all the way through. And when you start looking at St. Francis, they did it with their 4 key guys. They got it out to Cordova, they got it out to Andrew, they got the ball out to Howard, and they got the ball over to Dulcich. And then the running game was Washington. And we talked about the ability that, hey, if Washington's going to be able to pick up his yards, he can do it. He didn't get it tonight, only had 56, but he did enough.
They were enough.
You know what? And when you start looking at Washington's games, and towards the end when they were driving it, it was 7 yards, it was 5 yards, it was 7 yards. It became methodical because they were so worried about the seam passing patterns.
Well, we wish the St. Francis Golden Knights good luck in the semifinals of the playoffs. And for Citrus Hill, hey, you know what? We'll start to look back on this a little bit later and say, hey, you know what? This was a pretty good football team and a fine season.
Greg Dulcich tonight on 7 receptions, 131 yards. Great job there by Dulcich. You can't say enough about him.
He had a great game. He's probably our player of the game.
Has to be the player of the game. He's actually saved them. Total passing tonight, 270 yards, 15 yards per reception, only 5 penalty yards. When you start looking at Citrus Hill, key penalties, only 50 yards, but it was key. And
then one of them a 15-yarder inside the 20.
Right, and then from there, Jefferson, great job tonight, 196 yards rushing, 6.5 yards per carry. And Estelle, they got on that fly sweep quickly, but it was smelled out. They went to the well one too many times, but at the same time, though, great job, great season. Citrus Hill, league champs, Mountain Pass League, gets it up to the quarterfinals. Who knows what happens next year? And good luck to St. Francis moving forward.
For us, this could be the end of it for this season.
We don't know. It's been a great season, Coach, and we're going to find out what happens with Rancho Verde. Is going to be key.
If Rancho Verde can win, then they will be at home next week.
They're at home next week, so it'll be a Rancho Verde game. I don't have we can pull the bracket up if we can. Nah. And then from there, we'll be at Rancho Verde for that next part. Oh, the bracket comes up right now. So you start looking at Rancho Verde, they have heart. But who's going to be coming in? It's going to be Charter Oak, and Charter Oak is an absolute beast. Averaging 50 points a game, only giving up 7. They got it going on defensively and offensively, but at the same time, you haven't really seen much from Rancho Verde. Well, especially Charter Oak, because they haven't seen them in a long time. But here we go. We got Brock coming up, and Brock, what do we have?
Yeah, it's actually going to be Pep Fernandez that's going to bring us something.
Hey, Pep, how you doing there, buddy?
Hey, guys, always enjoy the call. Great job again tonight. And again, I know it's bitter tonight, but Citrus Hill had a great season, and they've had a great run with Coach Zomalt there, and they shouldn't hang their heads tonight. I mean, they've had another great year, but, yeah, to end in the quarterfinals, I know it stings a little bit, but still another fantastic season and a Mountain Pass League championship.
Another Mountain Pass championship. They got something to look forward to next year, and they can build upon this. They got some young bucks coming back, and they really have they have a core here, and they've established themselves as being one of the perennial teams in the Inland Empire. You've spoken to Coach Zolmo a number of times, but Pep, when you start looking at St. Francis, well-balanced attack, passing and running, and the 3 key guys. You start looking at Dulcich, 131 yards tonight. He did a great job.
Well, guys, I think with this new competitive equity, you know how we changed the playoff format in the Southern section 2 seasons ago, after those first-round games, even the quarterfinal games, they're going to be tough.
Yeah.
Like, there's no more cakewalks with this competitive equity. So there were some close first-round games, but when you get down to the second round, the quarterfinals, it's going to get real nitty-gritty, and we knew that whoever Citrus Hill would draw in the second round, the quarterfinals, would be tough.
Yep.
And it was evident tonight against St. Francis, although Rancho Verde apparently is making it look easy tonight up there by Magic Mountain.
Yeah, well, we were looking
about that. Go ahead,
we were looking at that exact same. Of the 8 teams that were playing tonight, we felt like any of them could win their ball game, and we saw that here.
And Rancho Verde may have the grace of taking on Charter Oak. What do you think about Charter Oak coming down and taking on the Mustangs?
Well, Miles, you mentioned that Charter Oak traditionally very, very strong. But Jeff Steinberg, my neighbor, I never put anything past him. I mean, this is a younger Rancho Verde team. They've got a lot of talent at the skill positions. So you knew they were going to be good, but how good were they going to be? Well, I think by tonight you can put that the expectation level a little bit higher that these guys are growing up in a hurry. I know Citrus Hill had a young team too, but Rancho Verde, a lot of the skill positions, there was a lot of question marks. But at this point in the quarterfinals, they're answering a lot of those questions. So it doesn't matter who they play, whether it's Charter Oak or somebody else. I feel good about the Mustangs, especially going on the road to another program who's traditionally really strong in heart, and it looks like they're going to close in on a huge win.
Yeah, and it looks like right now Westlake leads Charter Oak 28-26.
So much for our call. But the great defense there, Coach. All of the teams at 7 points because Westlake comes up and drops 28 right off the top. So,
all right, Pep. Hey, great.
Well, guys, I appreciate it. We've got our high school football show tonight. Big thanks to Johnny Boy and Teen Vision. You guys always send us great highlights. I appreciate it, and I enjoyed listening to you guys. I caught the end of the game. I was hoping the Hawks would make a comeback there, but I enjoyed your guys' call, so I appreciate that.
Thanks, Pep.
Thanks, Pep. See you next week.
All right, see you guys.
And he's right. Anybody could win it. We start looking at that, Coach. We start looking at the next 8 teams. It's a coin flip. So there we go.
It was enjoyable bringing you Citrus Hill football this year. And for the Citrus Hill fans, yeah, it's great to watch. Coach Zamalt does a great job with his kids, and boy, do they play hard. Fun to watch.
Fun to watch. So next week, Rancho Verde.
I think we're going to sneak in a couple highlights before we go.
Oh, I didn't hear that coming in.
Yeah, up and over the top. How fun is that sometimes? And then Citrus Hill came right back down the field, missed the extra point. And but that made it a 7-6 ball game, and then St. Francis came back again. The big play to Dulcich, who probably had to play the game of his life tonight. The field goal makes it a 17-6 game, and again, Citrus Hill came back first drive of the second half. St. Francis scores again. That makes it tough. The blocked extra point. But the 17-point deficit was something that Citrus Hill couldn't quite get over. Couple of touchdowns. Here you're going to see the run by D-Money Miles that brings it to within 3, but they weren't able to hold on as St. Francis scored the last touchdown to put this ball game away on the fake field goal. What a gutsy call.
And that's what's going to do it, Coach. Sometimes you got to make those calls. They do it, and right now St. Francis is talking about next week themselves. Long ride back, but it's going to be an easier ride back. Congratulations to St. Francis. Good luck next year to the Citrus Hill Hawks. And, hey, maybe next week we're together. So for us, Coach Rick, you got me, Miles Martin. We're out of here. See you guys next year.